Okay, Tisha, girl, we just gonna need you to come on out and say it. You're mad because Kimmy didn't choose you. That she didn't even choose Mel. You're mad because she stayed neutral. Let's talk about it. Ooh, yeah. Hey loves, it's me, Miss Joan. I'm back with another review for Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 3, Episode 1, Episode Sisters-in-BRAWL. Now look, this is one of my top favorite shows. Now I understand I have some shows that I have to catch up on, but we're going to get into this tea right now. Okay, so let's talk about it. So hey loves, we're here to talk about Season 3, Episode 1, Sister-in-Brawls of Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is definitely hands down one of my favorite shows of all time, and I'm so geeked for this new season, and I'm ready to go ahead and discuss this episode. Okay, so excuse me as I look at my notes. So the opening starts pretty much with them giving us a flashback of the previous seasons between Melody and Martell, also with Marsau and Martell as well. So pretty much they gave us a little catch up on what I guess we can expect this season. So then the show opens with a brand new intro, and I am here for it. It was real cute. Everyone had their white on, kind of. Can we talk about Melody's glow up though? She was all by herself. Let me tell you something. Clearly, Melody was the brains and operation of the whole Holt franchise, because when I mean they emphasizing on Melody and they making her stand out, her glow up is gorgeous, honey, okay? And so pretty much the show starts off with Marsau and Maurice, and they're pretty much driving up this hill, which is supposed to be the Scots Manor, right? So pretty much this is an area, and he keeps talking about how he got to build it for Tisha. I'm gonna get into this later on in the season. Let me tell you something. Marsau is kissing some serious butt when it comes to Tisha. Either that, or brother finally realized that he's been coming off a joke and a very misogynistic ass the whole show. Okay, and he's changing his tune. Me personally, I just think he's kissing Tisha's butt for obvious reason that we all know. Okay. So they go talking to their architect uncle, and then they jump right into it, right? So pretty much Tisha and Kimmy still not talking. They still not vibing. And the fellas pretty much are discussing how, them two are not communicating, pretty much, right? And then Marsau brings up how Martell was on Strawberry Letter. That's the Steve Harvey show, right? And how he was discussing Mel and how he apologized to Mel. And I saw that. I watched it myself when I heard it. Now, let me tell you something, honey. I'm part of their Facebook group. Even when the show is not on air, I'm keeping up with the drama, okay? Or with just the information, the tea, whatever you want to call it. And this is a group that Marsau being Melody be liking posts, and so they're active in this group, and I've been a part of this group for about a year now, so I be knowing all the juice, all the tea, even when the show not on air. Okay, so they're discussing that, and Marsau is like, he really believed that, like, he was sincere. Martell was sincere when he apologized to Mel, but that Martell needs to start taking accountability, because he's not taking accountability. And I'm like, Marsau, that's the pot calling the kettle black, because you the man up here who's married with kids who don't wear his wedding ring, okay? And allegedly, word out here, you got a baby somewhere with yourself. I don't know, you ain't hear from me. It's all over the internet. I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger, honey. Reply to the sender, okay? I'm just saying. And so I just thought that was real ironic, right? But then the scene goes to the next, where Melanie is coming on, and she got on her big old blue turquoise or whatever color you want to call it bow, and it must be a southern thing how they dress, because that bow was a bit much. But let's talk about how Mel wigs is on point. Okay, you could tell Mel is spending some more money on her hair. I'm all here for it, because that first season, and I know y'all can agree with me, in that second season, she must got a new hairstylist, okay, or a new vendor, because Mel was looking rough with the wigs, but sis definitely stepped her game all the way up this season, okay? So Mel starts talking about how she's, she's starting over, and she's not ready to date. She's pretty much focused on herself, her kids, and her business. And that right now, she just want to spend some time to herself, which is understandable. She's been married for 12 years, dealing with a insane whore bag, and pretty much she's just gonna do her. And I'm all here for it. I get it. I'm in that same boat. I'm just doing me right now. I'm not really trying to date or do nothing. So me and Mel, we right here, okay? So then we get a knock on the door. It's Destiny. So Destiny comes over to meet with Mel, and they're sitting on the couch, and they popping some champagne. And Destiny starts off like, hey, we got a toast, but you gotta look me in the eye. You'll have 7 years of bad sex. And I think in Melanie's head, she like, what? Honey, bad luck already been here, okay? But they go ahead and they do their toast. And, Melanie starts talking about how she's learning herself, how she's going to be celibate, and she's just going to be to herself. Me personally, I think Sis just saying this on the camera because Martell is on a hell-bent tour on making Mel's life miserable for leaving him, okay? So I too will be up on camera fronting like, nah, ain't gonna get me none. But I really do hope that she is taking the time out for herself because, that's the best thing to do, especially when you came out of something like as traumatizing as a 12-year marriage where a majority of the marriage is infidelity, okay? So then Destiny goes to discuss how she had lunch with Kimmy and how they discussed her marriage and how people was asking questions. Pretty much, we already know in Huntsville, honey, when it's some drama, the word is already circulating. For some reason, people down there in Alabama cannot keep their mouth closed, okay? And so then Destiny drops a bomb on us, okay? Destiny's pretty much like, hey, by the way, I'm officially divorced. Okay? And Mel was like, what? Now, me personally, I think Mel may have known or heard a little bug because, Mel tends to have her ear to the streets. But I love the conversation they had because Mel's like, you didn't have to go through this alone. You should have told me this. And Destiny's like, you had enough. But Mel's like, I don't, it's never too much that's going on in my life that I can't be there for you. I mean, for God's sakes, Mel just went through a divorce herself. It's finalized. So Mel would have been the perfect person for you to rely on. But I get Destiny. I commend this woman, okay? Let me tell you, she was able to get a divorce without us really knowing what the hell was going on. Now, me personally, when I noticed LeBerick wasn't on the last season, I thought it's because he learned from Martell that if you're going to have a side piece, not to bring your behind up on TV because it all comes out clearly. And Martell seems to be loose lips Betty. He'll tell it all. But clearly that wasn't the case. Maybe it was, but it was that they was in the place of getting a divorce, right? Now, me personally, I think Destiny may be a little pushy, and I say this because it seems like maybe when they were together, dating before they got married, she might have been pressuring him, to get married, to be together, and that may have caused some issues. Because if you think about it, when they were first introduced and they were having issues, they were going to counseling, if you remember, they were discussing how, she wanted to move down and LeBerick didn't want to pay for it. Okay, and that's a red flag right there, ladies. Like, if a man ain't trying to help you and support you to come be with him, girl, don't go. All right, and then you got to remember also, like, LeBerick wasn't helping with that baby, honey. Like, LeBerick was not for this relationship. Just was not. And Destiny gone ahead, had a baby, got on TV, got her shot, and we're moving on with her life, girl, and I'm all here for it. All right. So then the scene goes to messy Marsal and Kimmy. So apparently Tisha's gone. She's out of town. Kimmy is meal prepping for Martell. So she brings the food. She's explaining what's what. And of course, Marsal, he's always wanted something from somebody. Okay. He goes to ask Kimmy, look, I'm throwing Tisha a surprise graduation party because Tisha just graduated and got her second master's. So he's wanting to throw her a party. And Kimmy's like, oh, that's great, But then, pretty much he's like, will you help me plan this party? And I love me some Kimmy, honey. Kimmy straight came out, no, look, I'm working on saying no that straight. She didn't go, oh, well, you know. She said no. Mm-mm. Period. Okay. And then it jumps over to a small scene with Tisha. Tisha speaking to one of her relatives, and she's discussing how she overheard Marsau planning a party. So it is not a surprise party. Okay. But she overheard it, and that she's at a point in her life where she's ready to move past the mess with Kimmy and with everyone else. Me personally, Tisha, girl, you're gonna have to show us. You got to show me. Cause girl, you messy. You messy boots. Mel told this like when they first started falling out that Tisha is messy. She was. Tisha is Wanda's daughter, honey. She learned from the best with the mess. Okay. But we gonna see. Maybe she'll surprise us all. We never know. And so, pretty much then Kimmy discussed how Tisha and her family pretty much feel like, you know, they don't support, like she don't support Tisha. Like pretty much they feel like they have made Kimmy out to look bad. That's how Kimmy feel. And that one minute they're with her, next minute they're not. And so I feel Kimmy on that. Like she's like, which one is it? Okay, are we for Kimmy or are we not? I'm for Kimmy. I don't know about Tisha family, but yeah, Kimmy is over it, and I don't blame her at this point. Okay. Kimmy finally tells Marsau, look, I'll do the sides, okay? I'll cook the sides of the food, but I'm not planning this party. I'm not doing this whole damn thing, okay? You gonna do this. And Marsau's whole reason for asking Kimmy was that Wanda's not there, okay? You know he's happy about that. Wanda's not there. But it's more so that Wanda used lard in her food. I think he said lard. And she's like, okay, and like, bro, that's the best you could come up with. Okay, no. You're not. Tisha's you to do everything for him, and Wanda's gone. So he asked Kimmy, and it was nice for Kimmy to be like, all right, I can do the sides, okay? So then the scene goes to, honey, let me take my drink. Hold on. Messy Martell. He's exhausted. That's an exhausting man right there. His energy is exhausting. I can see why Mel needs some time to herself. Okay. Martell shows up at Destiny's store. Okay. And they automatically start talking about the kids. They discuss the kids and how the kids doing, and they're both giving their side on how the kids are going and their development and how it's just wonderful. And Destiny being Destiny, okay, she's gonna bring it up. You know, she will bring it up. We know this about Destiny, okay? Destiny goes ahead and she brings up the fact that Martell made a post about her kids. Now, the post that Martell made, and I'll have it on the screen and everything, is that his the youngest child that he had with Melanie is off to school, and at the bottom of the post he goes 4 down, 1 more to go. And Destiny's like, well, I feel like, you know, you're not being empathetic. You have no empathy. Like, it's too soon. Now, me personally, I don't think that was wrong with that, right? Martell made a very good point. You know, he's moving on with his life. Mel is moving on with her life, right? He right. He has a right to move on and make somebody else's life a living hell, okay? But no, like, I don't understand why he would not acknowledge his other kid. Yes, it was conceived through infidelity, but how many times have we heard women who pretty much make it impossible for their spouse or whoever they're with to acknowledge a kid outside the marriage? It's not the child's fault, okay? So, like, Destiny, if Mel okay with it, honey, you should be okay with it too. It really has nothing to do with you, but I get it. You looking out for your girl, but I just think it would have been real. It'd have been even more messed up for Martell not to acknowledge this child. Okay, he already don't acknowledge Curry. Okay, so why deny the child too? So as they're talking about that, you could Martell in his box. Okay, Martell in his box. He comes into the store with this box of products, which is for men, like for beards and hair. And Destiny's like, ooh, oh, so you got a product, you have your own line. And Martell's like, no, not necessarily. It's a company that I work for, and they're wanting me to. I'm in works, should I say? He's in works of signing a contract to have 20% stake in this company. But Destiny's like, so, but you not 20% now. So you're bringing me products to put in my store that you have no ownership of. You pretty much advertising for this company for free. I respect Destiny as a businesswoman because Destiny straight up said, and I'm gonna say it because I wrote it down, okay? Destiny says she is not having someone's product in her store, and if there is no paperwork done, girl, I respect that because Martell will have you caught up in some, okay? And you can tell Martell does not like being questioned because Destiny's like so, like you might want to handle that. He's like, he looked over at the camera. He don't like being questioned or challenged on the camera, okay? But he looks and tell her, I got this. Like, don't worry about it. I'm trying to help, black business owner going around. But I feel Destiny. Like, look, let's just call it what it is. Martell's looking for a storyline. He's looking for something to say. He wants to prove to the world, but more so male, that he's doing fine. That he's doing great. But we all know, Negro, that ain't true. You struggling. The struggle is real. I know a struggle when I see a struggle, boo, because I'm going through some struggle. So you struggling, but you struggling hard, okay? So Destiny's looking at him real, a little iffy, like, we not about to do this today. And you can tell Martell did not like the fact that Destiny was questioning him because he flipped the conversation right back to her, like, well, how's your marriage? Clearly he knows. He knows, right? So Destiny goes to discuss that how like you have to work on it. You have to work on your marriage. But then he's like, yeah, I know about working on your marriage. I was married for 12 years and I worked very hard. And Destiny messy boots behind. Okay, she messy boots. We're gonna call her Destiny messy boots. Okay? She goes to say it's a lot of work holding down two relationships, baby. When she said that, I was like, girl, Martell gonna shoot you up, girl, because Martell don't like being put out on blast, okay? And what does Martell do? The infamous Martell attack, okay? He goes, that's why your ass getting a divorce right now. And I'm like, whoop. And Destiny kept it so cool, though. She ain't argue. She ain't fight. She ain't scream. She shook her head and said, okay. You about to get the stiletto up your head, on your head. Y'all remember College Hill when that girl took that shoe and stabbed that girl up in the forehead? That's the vision I got when she said that. But he's like, that's the problem with you women now, your mouths. That's the problem with you women now, your mouths. And I'm like, and she like, so a little mouth, you can't handle a little mouth? That's a problem. And he like, that's why you're getting divorced now. That's why I met. No, boo-boo. It got nothing to do with a woman's mouth. You just want to do what you want to do with no one questioning what you doing. Just keep it 100, G. Just keep it 100, okay? And I was like, yeah, Martell is, let me tell you something. Martell is a female, okay? He got more emotions than a woman to me, okay? So then the scene jumps to Melanie speaking with her team, right? And she's holding her baby while she do it. I love it because I do it too. If I'm here recording and my little one is like real active, I will hold her, okay, and get the work done. All right. So you gotta do what you gotta do as a mama. I love seeing that about Melanie holding her baby. But then, she talks about how shooting her video for her song, which charted number 4 on the R&B charts, right? And that she's going to work on some more music. I love the song. I thought it was pretty nice. And she has such a beautiful voice. And then we hear a knock on the door. And look, surprise, surprise, looky, it is Chris. Now, if you remember last season, Chris and his wife invited Melanie and Martell over to try to fix their marriage before it was finalized of his infidelity because Chris has cheated on his wife in the past and they worked it out, right? But Martell being Martell with his little mouth, he goes, well, the woman I was with was satisfying him, and Mel flips the table and try to go $150 New Jack City on him, okay? Rockabye, Grandpa, all right? And so this is Chris. So Chris comes, and I think Watch Chris. Chris look messy. Sir Chris, you look very, very messy, okay? It's something about you that just look like you be doing some stuff on the side. That don't mean cheating. Like you could be a little grimy, okay? So he comes, right? And he comes to Mel to discuss the 47 acres that they had. And he wants Melanie to build some homes on here. And Mel, he would like the company and them is interested in Mel. They interested in her work. Clearly, this woman is phenomenal with her business savvy. Like, come on. And I think this is the same property Martell was selling to Chris and the company. And so Melanie goes, well, do Martell know? And this is what I mean by Chris is sneak. Because Chris looks and go, I'll tell him. She like, yeah, you make sure you run that by him. And I feel Mel. She don't want no drama with him. She said it. She's like, I don't want to step on his toes. I don't want to do nothing behind his back. And most off, I do not want no drama. Because let me tell you something. That man is exhausting. He is drama filled. Okay? All right. And I feel her. Clear that up for bro before you come over here. Because the last thing she needs, let me tell you something. Martell's not going to like this. It seems like everybody choosing Team Male to me. It's the Team Male for me. Okay? And so she's pretty much like, once you talk to him, we can get this going. And then the scene comes towards the end of the show where now we're at Tisha's graduation party. And the one that Marsau is throwing. And Mel shows up, and we learn on the scene that Mel and Tisha is actually working on a relationship, and I'm all here for it. Like, regardless of how Tisha has been coming off and how annoying her events are, I'm glad to see that Mel and Tisha is at a place where they're working on it. Now, matter of fact is if they can keep working on it, because every time they get in front of the cameras, it gets messy. And so we get to meet Tisha's family. Her father shows, her brother, her uncles, her cousins, everybody shows up. And then automatically, Kimmy is being questioned by Tisha's family about season 1. Let me tell y'all something. I am so damn tired of two things. This damn comeback group, I don't want to hear no more about no damn comeback or group unless they really going to come back. Okay, and that was exhausting enough. But this whole season 1 thing where they want to keep bringing up where Kimmy came out and said, yeah, her and Tisha was talking about Mel, and Mel is extra. Girl, get over it. I'm going to need Tisha family to get over this. Y'all mad because she told the truth? She wasn't throwing Tisha. If Tisha was a real woman, she would have owned up to it like Kimmy did in my book. Y'all want to sit here. That's how you know they ain't shit. Because they want to talk behind Tisha back. No, they want to talk behind Melanie back, but Melanie not know. I respect Kimmy for owning up to that. But they're mad. That's why. Wanda told her family to keep this going, honey. Because I refuse to believe that y'all really going to keep this in the 3rd season going. It's exhausting. Get over it. LIG. Let it go, please. Own. Tell them. Put it in their contract. They can't talk about it no more. I'm tired of hearing about it. So I love when Kimmy was talking to, I guess she was like the cousin. I'm not sure who she was. I didn't catch it. And she was like, so you think I was talking about how Melanie back? And Melanie over there like, oh boy, here we go. And the cousin was like, yeah. She said, well, so then tell me how I should have went about it. And they couldn't tell Kimmy how she should have went about it. You know why? Because there's nothing to tell. All right? And so pretty much Tisha family to me, I think they just want some TV time. Okay? Because they're there to do Wanda's bidding. All right, while she's gone. And if they're Wanda married and got a man, never mind. So Tisha shows up and she fakes surprise, of course, because she knew there was going to be a party. And she shows up and she gives a speech and she thanks everyone. She thanks her husband, all the support. And then we go to Tisha family bringing up the freaking comment about how Marsau said about the other side of the tracks. Now, here's my thing about this. You are family with this man, or are you not? You had all the ample opportunity to reach out to him, to go to his house before this recording, before this season was recorded, and talk to him about it. But y'all asses wait till the camera get there to ask him about it. I'm over that too. We know Marcel's an asshole. That's not a surprise. It's not a secret. And Marcel's like, well, when I see the other side of the tracks, y'all were from the projects, but at the time we were homeless. Yo, it's like two poor people talking about who situation is the worst. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. I with Marcel on this. I was over that. Okay. So then Kimmy see Tisha. She pulled. Come here. Come here. Okay, come here. Your family clearly think I'm not supporting you because they're still in my face about this, and I don't blame her, right? So, Kimmy and Tisha start speaking about their relationship as far as like Kimmy not supporting Tisha, right? So Tisha starts talking about how actions speak louder than words, and I agree, it does. Action does speak louder than words, okay? And how Kimmy doesn't care for her, and Kimmy's like, I do care for you, and she's like, but your actions doesn't show because you don't call and check up on me. And I'm like, this is giving me a strange deja vu. Didn't she do the same thing to Mel when she said her aunt didn't die and Mel didn't call her? And then Tisha went on this whole campaign of making Mel, keep bringing up Mel's and Martell's infidelity. I'm like, this is deja vu. And I'm with Kimmy. They spoiled her so bad that she just wants everyone to cater to her. Come on, I'm going to call it out, okay? I'm going to call it out. The reason why Tisha is mad at Kimmy is because Kimmy did not choose Tisha's side. Now, Kimmy never chose neither side. She stayed neutral. She didn't choose Mel's side. She didn't choose Kimmy's side. She stayed in the middle, okay? But that's not what Tisha wanted. Tisha wanted to have Kimmy make a definite choice and Tisha's side, right? And leave Mel all by herself. But Kimmy's like, it has nothing to do with me, and she's right. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm an old school, right? So if I have a best friend and she hanging out with my enemy, I'm gonna be a little sketchy because y'all, you know, who knows that who's talking about what? But at the same time, honey, you can't make someone not be friends with somebody because you don't like them. That's childish. Girl, we're not in high school no more. I didn't like that when heifers did that in high school. So why are we doing this as adults? Tisha, grow up. You have three kids, grow up. 2 degrees, grow up. Your own business, podcast, grow up. You're on TV, boo. You're damn near a reality star. Grow the fuck up. Please. Let it go. L.I.G. it, boo. L.I.G. it. Alright? And so, ooh, baby. I was waiting for Kimmy to bring this up. So Kimmy like, wait a minute. So where was you when Maurice's wife was dragging me under the bus? And if y'all remember last season, they did that bonus episode where they showed never been seen footage, and we saw Tisha behind sitting down with Maurice's ex-wife, all praising her in her face. Tisha is Wanda's daughter, honey. If you watch how Wanda moved, you know Tisha did not learn. She's not too far behind how Wanda moved. She just better at it because she got an education and she know how to put on a facade. But that's Wanda's daughter, honey. Tisha's messy. Tisha's messy. So I love that Kimmy brought that up, and Tisha didn't know what to say. You saw her face. She's like, and I'm like, girl, it's a double standard. No, girl, we're not gonna do that today. But pretty much that was the episode, and I enjoyed it. And then they showed us snippets of what we are in for this season. Baby, I'm so living for it. I love this. This is one of my favorite shows, okay? Y'all can tell, like, I remember everything, okay? But yeah, this was a really good way to start the season. It seems like everyone is starting off on a high note. We all know Queen Martell is about to raise hell, okay? And I hate to see Destiny and Melanie go at it. Maybe Melanie do got some issues. I don't know, but I'm so here for it. I want to thank you all so much for watching and sticking this through. And I really appreciate all you guys who's still supporting me. for me transitioning my channel. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because we are going to be keeping up with the Hulks, okay? And there's some other shows I'm reviewing. I'm going to play catch up on BET Presents and Love and Lockup. But I had to get this out. This is my show, okay? Out of all the shows, this is my show. But yeah, I want to thank you so much for the love. And we'll be back next week with episode 2. But till then, smooches.